Greetings, everyone. Can I have your ticket? Oh, you don't have one? No problem. Just hit the subscription button below. Come on in. Hey guys, DFG here. Hey guys, I want to talk to you today about an incident that happened a couple of days ago, and this incident is related to the woman who was violently attacked by a man in a parking lot in Dallas. And I want to show you the video first. Then I want to give you some commentary on the video. But to give you some narrative here, apparently, according to what is being said, this female was driving the wrong direction on the street, and somehow or another blocked this man's vehicle. And I guess somehow or another that escalated to what I'm going to show you. But I do have some questions about this story. Something just doesn't seem quite right. And I'll get into that after you watch this video. And then there are some comments that are made also that are real suspicious. And be honest with you, excuse me for using this word, some of the comments are very, I'm going to call them niggardly. Niggardly, okay? All right, niggardly. Some of the comments are niggardly. And you'll see what I mean when after you finish watching. It's about 2 minutes, so be patient with me, okay? I really appreciate it. You're going to love my commentary.
Incident 426 Thursday morning. Police say the 24-year-old woman said she'd been driving the wrong way in the 2800 block of Elm Street. That in the process of pulling in a parking lot, she was blocking the way out for a bearded man in his pickup. The two argued. He pulls out what looks like a handgun. When the woman attempts to dial 911, he puts the gun away and slaps the cell phone out of her hand. She strikes him, and then he punches her 5 times in the head before kicking the phone away. Police identify the man as 30-year-old Austin Sheffield. He's been charged with assault causes bodily injury, interfering with emergency personnel, and public intoxication.
I mean, I'm here every night.
Morgan is a woman who works down the street.
I thought it was really awful to watch, but I work down here. I'm here all the time. I never really see anything like that. It seems like more of an isolated personal incident than anything that reflects the neighborhood.
If you're out at 4:30, it's nothing but trouble.
Malia and Jean Lark are also Deep Ellum regulars. They believe the attack is not a reflection of the Deep Ellum neighborhood.
There's nothing going on down here at that time of night. You know, at 4:30, it's shut down. So the only thing that's going on is trouble.
Austin Sheffield worked at the nearby High and Tight Barbershop and Speakeasy. Co-owner Braxton Martin told us by phone that he has terminated the employee. We don't know exactly what happened, but what we've seen on social media is enough, and we do not condone his actions. The 3 charges are misdemeanors. Police records seem to indicate that Sheffield has been released and without having to post any bond.
Okay, I'm going to stop right there. Now, I don't know what you guys heard, but I know what I heard. And I think what I heard is a bunch of lies, personally. I think the story is being manipulated because there's a lot of gaps. First of all, I'm going to ask you a couple of questions. If you were a female driving at 4 o'clock in the morning and you in the wrong direction, at what point would you get out of your car to confront somebody who's complaining about you blocking his car? Wouldn't logic tell you to just stay in your car and keep it moving? Right? Unless something is blocking your path, why would you get out of your car? So that's question number 1. Why is the female out of her car? Question number 2, the male. Why would he pull out a gun on a strange woman for no reason? Secondly, why would he take and slap the phone out of her hand when there's really no crime being committed? Blocking somebody's car is not a crime being committed, and complaining to someone about moving their car out of your way is not a criminal act. Okay? So why is she calling 911? According to what we're being told here. Again, question number 2. Question number 3. The vicious doggery act of this male. Because any man that would put his hands on a female, unless he was defending himself. Now I know some of you might say, well, she hit him first. Okay, maybe he took knocked something out of her hand. I don't think it would be a far stretch for someone to react that way. If I'm holding something and you slap it out of my hand, my natural instinct might be to come back at you. All right? Well, I know my natural instinct is going to be to come back at you. Not if you're a female, okay, of course. But you can see the reflex aspect of that. But to turn around and punch her 5 times in the violent manner that he did is beyond excuse. That is beyond excuse. And then I'm going to jump to the end. Charged with 3 misdemeanors and no bail to get out of jail. I mean, so what really happened? Then you hear the white female says that, well, you know, it's a pretty good area. I'm there all the time. Sound like a stripper to me. I don't know what you thought. I work out here all the time. That sounds like a stripper, and it seemed like it was personal. I think she's trying to tell us something there. That there was a personal relationship going on between these two. Is that an excuse for him to put his hands on her? What do you think I think? Now you listen to some of my videos. What do you think I think? You know, I'm looking around. Look, you hear me talk about this all the time. All right? You know what that is? That is, don't put your hands on me. All right? So that's what I think about that. So I'm not justifying him putting his hands on her. But I am saying I find it very strange that his reaction was that violent for someone that he did not know at all. And tying that in to the comment that the white female made. Now here's the niggerly part of it that I mentioned. The black female and the black male. Anybody out at 4 o'clock in this morning, 4 o'clock in the morning must be looking for trouble. Are you out of your damn mind? This is the United States of America. Last I checked, I can go anywhere I want to go in this country at any time I want to go in it. Since when is a restriction? You know, well, yeah. See, that makes me think about some of those Jim Crow laws, these black codes where blacks couldn't be in certain cities after night, after sunset. That's what these coons, and I'm gonna call them what they sound like to me, coons. That's what those 2 coons sound like to me. You know, you shouldn't be out at 4 o'clock in the morning unless you're looking for trouble. Well, dumbasses, I know people who got out at 4 o'clock in the morning jogging, doing all kind of things, including myself. How many professional fighters you see jogging down the street, you know, or professional athletes jogging at 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock in the morning where it's still dark? What kind of foolish rationalization are you using there? And where did they get these these clowns from anyway? Did the news station just go look around and say, let me go find someone and ask them, tell me about what happens here at 4 o'clock in the morning in this historical, peaceful little place? And just like 2 see, I don't want to call them sellouts, because if I call their asses sellouts, you're going to look at me and say, well, what are you trying to say? Read between the lines. I don't know, read the hell whatever you want to read between the lines. Because I see them as 2 damn sellouts. Because anytime you look at a black female getting hit like that by a white male, and the best you can come up with is that she shouldn't have been out at 4 o'clock in the morning, oh yeah, your ass is a coon. And you never say nothing about this guy putting his hands on her? Yeah. See, I smell a rat. Now, this female, I wouldn't be surprised if she worked in that club in some capacity. I don't know if it's a strip club or if it's a club that's frequented by prostitutes or, you know, ladies of the night or whatever you call it. Or she was in some kind of relationship with this guy. Because I get the sneaking suspicion that something else like that is going on. I can't prove it. It's just, you know, my suspicious nature, I suppose. I don't know. Maybe your thoughts are similar. Maybe they're not. That's okay too. But something just doesn't smell quite right. That you get it on video. He's beating her ass. And, you know, and there's nothing more than misdemeanor charges. Isn't that aggravated assault? If somebody takes and punches you like that, hits you like that, that's not aggravated. And since when is aggravated assault not a felony? Just a question that I'm asking there. Okay? And last part of this, well, not the last, second to the last. Again, if you're going to be that aggressive, and ladies, I'm talking to you. Not that I'm excluding men, but ladies, I'm talking to you. If you're going to be that aggressive, if you're going to take that kind of, you better have something to back yourself up. If you're going to take and swing out there, and I'm not saying you don't have a right to, but you better have a plan B. If plan A is to hit a man, plan B is to make sure he don't hit you back. All right? So, and again, that's why I talk all the time about the Second Amendment, and I'm talking about if you can carry, you should be carrying. Men, women, doesn't matter. If you're legal to carry, you should be carrying. In other words, if there's not something in your background that won't allow you to carry, then you should be carrying legally. And if there's something back there that won't allow you to carry, then maybe you should be carrying illegally. I don't know. That's okay. Forget I said that. That being said, I listened to the reporting of this story. I see all kind of cracks in this story. I listened to all three of the so-called people who are sharing their opinion about this beautiful, safe area. All three of them sound very, very suspect. And then again, like I told you, Mr. and Mrs. Coon, because I'm going to call you that because that's the way you conducted yourself. You're going to say that she has no right to be out at night because why again? You must be up to something nefarious. Please, get out of here with that foolishness. And then, again, the guy getting misdemeanor charges and no bail. Must be nice to have those kind of privileges. Because, you know how my mind works. I'm sure if there was a black guy out there at 4 o'clock in the morning hitting a white female like that, his ass would be in jail today. And I think he would have got an ass whipping too. I'm sure the police, when they got hold of him, they would have gave him a nice little ass whipping to remind him not to be putting his hands on a white female. At least not like that. That's just my opinion. I'm tied to my opinion. If you don't like it, just give me a thumbs down. And then the last part about it, again, is again, I'm gonna say defending yourself. You better be able to defend yourself because it's interesting. I don't know why, but what came to my mind? Emmett Till. There's a part of the Emmett Till story that don't always get told. We know that these two men walked up into this young boy's, I think it was his grandfather's house in the middle of the night, snatched this boy out because supposedly he whistled at a white woman, and they find him in the river, beat to death and body found in the river. And, I asked myself the question, why did his grandfather, I know he was an old guy, but why did you let him come in that house? Why did you let them come in that house and take that boy? That's something that doesn't get talked about. The media doesn't talk about that. Because you know what he should have done? He should have had a shotgun. And he should have said, I don't care what this boy did. You ain't coming in this house taking nobody out here at midnight. What, you want to sit down on the porch and explain to him how Jim Crow works in the South? That's why you want to talk to him? That man should have known full well that when these men came to his home, they were coming to do harm to that boy. And he didn't do anything to defend that child. Sorry, but it's just the truth. And so, men, I'm telling you, you have a responsibility to hear. Now, I know I'm off track. This has nothing to do with that. I get that. But, this slanted reporting, you know what I'm saying? Telling this narrative, this twisted narrative to take the emphasis off of the criminal and make the victim the criminal. It's bullshit. You follow me? And the Emmett Till story, I'm not saying that the old man did something necessarily wrong, but what I am saying, he failed to do something innately right. And that is the right to defend yourself. All right? At all times, especially if it's danger looming about. And that's my take on the story. Sure there'll be more to come, but I don't think this had anything to do with somebody driving in the wrong direction, blocking a car, and then you get out of your car in a confrontation, and it ends the way we're being told that it ends. I'd like to hear your thoughts, opinions about it if you have any. Other than that, thanks for listening. DFG, Gideon's Flight. Shit, man, you guys better wake up. Bye now.